In previous videos, I unboxed and assembled my central machinery bandsaw that was purchased from Harbor Freight. Now let's take a look at some of the adjustments it needed. First, the saw is unplugged. Hear that ticking sound? That's the blade jumping because the guide bearings are pressing too hard against it. This blade guard needs to come off. The guide bearing lock nut is loosened with a 14mm wrench. Then, using a 12mm wrench, the bearing was adjusted so that it pressed firm enough against the blade to keep the blade in alignment during a cut, but not so firm as to prevent the bearing from being rotated with my fingers. Tightening the lock nut caused the bearing to shift a little toward the blade, so I readjusted. The other guide bearings are fine. See this nick in the switch guard? Noticed it while assembling the saw. A quick adjustment of this end stop fixed the problem. Little too far. That horrible squealing sound is coming from the back of the blade rubbing against its guide on the drive pulley. The blade tracking is adjusted until that nasty squealing sound goes away, but the blade is halfway off the driven pulley by the time the sound is gone. Notice the blade seemed kind of slack, so I increased its tension. Doing so caused it to track away from its guide on the drive pulley. This allowed me to undo my previous tracking adjustment without the squeaking sound returning. I should have checked the blade tension before messing with the tracking. I'll tighten this lock bolt and move on. The saw wasn't quite accurate out of the box. The blade wandered a bit during a cut. After unplugging the saw, a square is positioned like so and clamped in the vise. Using a straight edge against the blade, I measure its angle compared to the square. The angle of both blade guides is off, so they are readjusted until the blade is square with the table at both ends. With those bolts retightened, I'm going to test the accuracy again. Let's try another accuracy test with this piece of 1" by 3" steel tubing. The feed rate of the saw seemed a bit high to me, so I reduced it. But then it wouldn't automatically shut off after a cut. So I changed it back, and I'll just need to be careful when starting a cut. Now I'd like to show you some of the adjustments regarding angled cuts. The miter block's been set to 45 degrees, but I can't get this piece of 1 inch by 3 inch tubing to fit in the vise. It turns out that 3 inch wide stock won't quite fit in the vise when set to 45 degrees. I want this blade support to be fairly close to the material being cut to help keep the blade straight. The blade guide support and material clamp need to be adjusted so that they don't interfere. Can't quite do 3 inch material at 45 degrees. I think I can modify it too, but not in this video. Changing and retensioning the blade is pretty straightforward. I unplug the saw first, and then I move the blade guards out of the way. The blade tension is relieved and the old blade is removed. I installed the new blade and tensioned it until it only deflected about 3 millimeters with moderate finger pressure. With the blade tensioned, the guards are reinstalled and the door is closed and secured. Hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching.